right, hello children, it's Pastor Matthew here for our Children's Praise lesson. We've been looking at a lot of different aspects of Jesus Christ. If you remember from our weeks ahead, if you've been with us and been able to pay attention, we've been learning about Jesus in three offices. Do you know what those are? We talk about three offices, or maybe we can say three different names for Jesus. These names are prophet, priest, and king. They're really important, and I hope that you learn them now so you'll have them the rest of your life when you pray and consider Jesus Christ, because he is our prophet, our priest, and our king. So, number 3, the last one we're going to see is question 26 of the Catechism. And it says this: how is Christ a king? We're going to look at Jesus as a king right now. How is Jesus a king? The answer is, as a king, Christ brings us under his power, rules, and defends us, and restrains and conquers all his and our enemies. So I'm going to read that again real slow, and we're only going to look at some of the most important parts. It says, as a king, Christ brings us under his power, rules, and defends us, and he restrains and conquers all his and our enemies. So, we do have an enemy, and his name is Satan. And there's this thing called the kingdom of darkness in this whole world. It's an unseen spiritual kingdom. But also we have enemies within us, which is our own sinful desires or sinful nature. And so Jesus, as our king, comes and subdues us, or he tells us what to do. He has control over us, kind of like how your mom or dad also has control over you, and they can tell you what to do. But they do it in a way for your good. So when they say it's time to go to bed, or it's time to eat dinner, it's because you need to eat, because it's good for you. Or you need to go to sleep, because it's good for you. So Jesus is like that king who can have control over us and tell us what to do, because he actually cares about us and loves us and wants to do what is good for us. That's how we know Jesus is like a king. So I want you to see this image. It's an image of a boy in a bed, and it's very, very scary. He's afraid of the dark, right? That is very similar to how we are. We're afraid of the dark in lots of different ways. Even grown-ups are afraid of dark things. Maybe not so much the dark, but there's lots of dark things out there in the world that are really scary. And look at this other image. You see a boy sitting up against the wall in the dark. Have you ever felt like this picture? Have you ever felt afraid of the dark in some way? The question is to see Jesus as our solution. I want to read this Bible verse to you so that you can think about this question. Which kingdom do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the kingdom of darkness, or do you want to be in the kingdom of light? Colossians 1:11 says this: may you be strengthened with all power according to his glorious might, for all endurance and patience with joy, giving thanks to the Father who has qualified you to share in the inheritance of the saints of light. Now that's a lot, but here's the most important verse. This is verse 13. It says this about Jesus: he has delivered us from the dominion of darkness and transferred us to the kingdom of his beloved Son. So, that's the verse I want to repeat one more time. He, the Father, has delivered us from the dominion of darkness and transferred us to the kingdom of his beloved Son. So it's kind of like this. It's when you come to Jesus, he can put this light, just like a flashlight, right, that goes and pans across the darkness, and anywhere it touches, there's no darkness at all. So God can put this flashlight inside your heart, and he can give you light on the inside so that you don't feel dark or scary or nervous, because that is who Jesus is. You notice the difference, that he translated us from the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of his beloved Son. So Jesus is the light, so it's the kingdom of his Son, that's Jesus the light, and the kingdom of darkness. So you see this image of these two kingdoms you have to choose from. Either you can not be with Jesus and you're going to be in the kingdom of darkness, And we all know what it's like to be surrounded by darkness, either on the outside in your bedroom or on the inside in your heart. Or you could choose to come to Jesus. And the beautiful thing is, his kingdom is a kingdom of light. That Jesus comes and lives inside of us, and he gives us light so that we don't have to fear. And that's what this image is, this last kingdom of this great, bright, glorious gold kingdom. That is a beautiful image of what it's like to have Jesus come and live on side of us so that we can have his light. This is what it means that Jesus is our King. He rules and reigns over us personally with light.